This is big, breaking, emergency news. We are now being issued an emergency warning from law enforcement right now. They're warning us that we need to brace ourselves for what's coming next because they are saying that they are not able to respond. They are not going to be able to respond. They are not going to be able to stop this, and they are going to just let this happen. All right, they're going to facilitate this and process this and allow this situation to get even worse. All right, so if you're in states like Florida, you need to be on high alert. This is Florida law enforcement that is issuing this warning, and they're saying that they're really going to do nothing for this crisis and this emergency that we're dealing with. All right, so really quick, hit it up for me down there. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Posting multiple times a day, keeping you guys updated on this big news. All right, let's get into this warning. This was from law enforcement in St Lucie County, Florida. This is what they're warning of, and this is what Floridians are dealing with right now. They're dealing with their own invasion of their own borders and their own state right now. So listen to what this law enforcement officer out of Florida said, and I want you to study this video a little bit because the video doesn't make sense and it doesn't add up, and I want answers from this video as well. But listen to this law enforcement officer really quick.
I'm St. Lucie County Sheriff Keith Pearson. Illegal aliens aren't just flooding across our southern borders, they're arriving all across South Florida beaches, including right here in St. Lucie County. They are undocumented and unvetted individuals whom we have no idea what type of positive or negative impact they could have on public safety of our community or nation. Working with immigration to enforce the law of the land, our deputies helped with this interception. After making sure there were no immediate medical needs, we provided fresh water while they wait to be picked up from the United States Coast Guard and processed. Behind me, you see a vessel loaded with the migrants that we're talking about. The men and women of the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office will continue to monitor and assist our federal partners to ensure we protect our borders.
All right, so you heard that. He said they are dealing with boatloads and boatloads of these people coming from Haiti, and they're just processing them. And look at this. They're throwing them water bottles.
Aren't just flooding
how's
across.
It going? How's it going? You guys are entering the country illegally. Here's some water bottles for free. And then look at this. Do you see that American flag on the back? Whose boat is this? Whose boat is that? So a bunch of people from Haiti have a nice yacht fishing boat that's worth $300K, and it has an American flag and a flag stand hanging off the back. But it's 20 random dudes from Haiti's boat. This is not adding up. This is probably a stolen boat, potentially a stolen boat. Whose boat is this? And the law enforcement's just like, hey guys, how's it going? Here's a free water bottle for coming to America. Here you go. And he just said, we're just going to process them and work with federal law enforcement. That means they're going to be given, they're going to be let in, they're going to be processed, they're going to get all the goods and all the stuff. And this is in Florida. What's going on? What is happening? This is not okay. And whose boat is this? That's what I want to know. As soon as I saw this video, I said, wait a minute. That boat has an American flag. And also, look what they did to the American flag. Right in front of law enforcement. So the flag's there the whole time. All right, and then they finally get to law enforcement. They get their water bottles. And then they realize this is a joke. And then look at this guy. Look at the guy in blue. Grabs the flag and then dunks it in the water here and just flaps it around in the water, dipping it in the water. Our American flag that he took off this boat that's potentially stolen. Whose boat is this? This is obviously an American's boat. This is an expensive boat. Whose boat is this? Was this boat stolen? They don't do anything. They don't do their job. They don't do anything. That's too much work. That's too scary. What is going on in our country? This is insane. And then they have the gall and the disrespect to put the American flag, dump it in the water in front of our law enforcement here. This is an absolute joke. All right, this is a absolute joke what's happening with our country. This is a total breakdown of our society, and we are facilitating. They're supposed to be worried that they're coming here illegally and stealing boats and coming up on Florida shores. People in the Keys are reporting that boats are pulling up to their backyards. They're just showing up in the Florida Keys. People think they're isolated in the Florida Keys. I saw videos, people reporting on that boats like this and people just swimming, showing up on their back properties. And people are having to run out there to defend themselves and their property because they don't know what's going on. And they're scared and they're worried. This is what's going on in the Florida Keys right now. People just piling in, boats showing up on your dock that you paid, on your $2 million dock that you paid for. And people just showing up in stolen, potentially fishing boats with American flags on them. And these are all, of course, they're all military-age men coming into our country. This is insane. This is unsustainable. And this is going to lead to something very bad. And check this out. Media at the Texas border is now being blocked. All right, so after this fiasco where we had National Guard soldiers trampled, knocked over, trampled on the ground, and it was found out actually that multiple of these people had knives and weapons on them, the people that trampled the National Guard soldiers. This is being reported. And also they were reporting that one of the people tried to grab a National Guard soldier's gun. You cannot make this up. This is what they're doing before they're even inside the country. They can't even pretend to act normal or grateful or whatever, act civilized for 30 minutes to just get let in for free and go get their free ticket. They can't even do that. They have to bum rush the guard and try to take their gun. This is insane. This is crazy. And now this is being reported at the Texas border that they are not allowing members of the media. It says, members of the media, please stay off the ramp and away from the sliding gate. Do not disrupt U.S. Border Patrol operations by being in the way of transportation vehicles. Do not attempt to make contact with migrants unless authorized by U.S. Border Patrol officials. And it says, please refer to all inquiries to Border Patrol, whatever. All right, so they're not allowing people. And you can see here this reporter that was there when this was happening, they said media is now blocked from the scene where we captured a breach by hundreds of migrants in El Paso yesterday. How do we do our jobs now? All right, the point is they don't want you to do your jobs. They want this in the dark. They don't want this stuff out. And this isn't being reported really anywhere else, all right? It's being reported on some channels. It feels like everyone's talking about it because of, the niche of news we are in and the news we all look at. We all look at similar news, similar stuff, right? But mainstream, 80% of people in the country did not see this video, have no idea, never even heard of it. And a lot of people don't even care either, right? The instinct is not being activated to protect our country. This is a national security risk for our country. The instinct is not being activated. And check this out. There were multiple situations that have happened in the past 48, 72 hours where people have been rushing and challenging the National Guard. They're not scared of the National Guard anymore. They're not worried about what's going to happen to them if they approach the guard and try to overwhelm the guard, right? This, you can see here, these guardsmen, they are lined up with their riot shields trying to prevent people from going past as other guardsmen fix the fence, fix a hole in the fence, all right? This is crazy. This is like a war zone at our border, right? And no country on earth could handle this type of influx and this type of overwhelming of our critical systems, of our infrastructure, of our economics, of our social safety nets, everything. It's all being stretched to the limit, and people can barely survive. People can barely afford food. People can barely afford rent and barely afford to eat or do anything. Everyone's struggling right now. Everyone is dealing with this economic crisis as well, this dollar collapse and this inflation that we are dealing with. Everyone's being hit hard right now. Interest rates extremely high. Everything's crazy. If you bought a house If you buy a house now compared to a few years ago, the payments are 50% higher. It's crazy. Everything's being stretched to the limit. And while all that's happening, while Americans are barely scraping by, people barely surviving, it's insane. It's insane right now, the economic situation. Now we're just bringing in tens of millions of people that a lot of them are not able to speak English. They are not going to be able to assimilate and get normal jobs and things like this. They're just not going to be able to. It's going to be a permanent strain on our system dealing with this. And we have enough people in America that are struggling as well. There's a ton of homeless people in America, and they bend over backwards. They'll they'll send out letters to landlords and homeowners. Do you have an extra room? Can we rent out your house for this crisis, for this migrant crisis? They'll bend over backwards for it. But if it's a citizen, if it's a homeless veteran, they barely get any scraps. They barely get anything. Right? That's the situation that we're dealing with right now. And it's completely backwards. All right? And I don't know if you saw this guy that has been going viral. All right? I saw this like a few days ago now. I just haven't brought it up yet. That is telling people to go squat in all these homes. He's telling people that are coming to the country saying, hey, if you see an empty home, you can go squat in it and you can try to take it over and get this home for free. This nasty guy that's just you can tell there's vitriol and he's ungrateful and hateful about this situation. And he's even saying, oh, we squat at these houses. Me and my friends, we're all squatting. All the stuff. You should do it too. It's crazy. That's what we're going to be dealing with very soon. Very soon. And especially in Florida, right? What happens in Florida, there are millions of people that have second homes in Florida. All these things, they're called snowbirds, okay? Where they come down to Florida in the winter when it's snowing up north, right? To get out the snow. They live down here half the year when it's snowing, and then when it's nice up there, springtime, summer, fall, they go back up north when it's hot down here and it's raining all the time, right? There's a whole population, there's millions of people. The population of Florida swells like crazy just from these people that have second homes. Now all these homes are going to be at risk. These people are going to be leaving soon. Snowbird season is ending right now. People are going back up north soon. It's springtime. First day of spring was a day or two ago now. And people are going to go back up north soon. And there's going to be millions of empty homes all over Florida that could potentially have these squatter. This is insane. This whole squatter thing it's an oxymoron, squatter, right? So you're a squatter. You're stealing people's property. You're breaking and entering, stealing services and housing, everything. You're stealing and breaking and entering, and now you have rights all of a sudden. No, that is not how it works. They should be charged with breaking and entering and be charged with theft of utilities, theft of all this stuff, and they should be locked up. That's what should happen right now. But it's not. States like New York, California, people are struggling to get people out of their homes, and we could see this situation be exacerbated by having millions of people cross the border that don't have anywhere to live or any homes to go to. They're just converting all the hotels into, quote, migrant housing, and now that's not working anymore. So now they're going for people's homes. I've covered these letters. There's been multiple letters over the past few months that they're sending out in different communities. New York, right? Boston, Massachusetts, Denver, Colorado, have all sent out letters to landlords and property owners to try to get people into their property and into their housing. All right, so be prepared, guys. This is not over. This is coming, and this law enforcement officer, all right, he's just warning that they're just going to process people. They're just going to give them over to federal authorities and let them into the country. They used to turn people back. They used to say, if you haven't touched land yet in Florida, you're getting sent back. You need to go back now or you're going to be under arrest. That's what it used to be. But now people are just let in, process. Here's some water bottles. Hopefully you're not too hot from your journey. Here's some free water from the taxpayer. Here's $1 from a taxpayer and another $1. It's crazy. Every water bottle, it's taxpayer dollar. Throwing it, just here you go. That's what we need to think of this like. Every water bottle, every single thing, you are paying for it. You're working for free for a quarter of the year. 25% of the year you work for free, and you give it to the government for 3 months of the year. If you work 12 months, you got to give 25% of your income. 3 months of the entire year is free. And then it's going to people that just show up, that have never had any stake, no skin in the game at all in America, at all. They've never even been to America. No one they know has ever been to America. Nothing. Never even, nothing. No skin in the game. They just get to show up, and they are somehow entitled now to that section of your tax money that you have to pay for. And then if citizens want any benefits, we have to jump through a million different hoops, and there's all these exclusions, and you made too much, or you did too much, or you didn't do enough. That's what we have to deal with, and that's, the standards are so much higher, right? So get prepared, guys. Get ready now. Law enforcement's warning. We're going to see this happen in Florida, and I'm telling you, people in the Keys are panicking right now. They thought they were living in paradise and safe from this border crisis, all these different crises. You're just hanging out on the beach, retired in the Keys over here, and now they're having people show up on their docks, on their back porches, on their backyards that are on the water, and people are just running through their yards and stuff too. This is insane. This is lawlessness in our country. All right, so get prepared now, guys. Get stocked up. We could see big disruptions. If we see some kind of activation, some kind of major attack on critical infrastructure, supply chains, a major city, we could see stuff shut down, right? Look at what happened in Russia, right? We could see something like that here. We are wide open. We are lucky nothing like that has happened here yet. We are extremely lucky and blessed that that hasn't happened in the U.S. because we are wide open. Wide open. So, thank you guys. Please get prepared. Please hit it up for me down there to help get this warning out to more people. People need to know, all right? Hope you have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.